Alrighty. Alright, so I think, yep, we are now live on all of the streaming platforms that we stream on. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talkin Tech episode 24. Sorry we're a little late. Normally we do it earlier. We were just having some technical difficulties, but we are at last now live. So I guess without further ado, let's roll the intro. Alright, so first up, as you guys could see from the title, Eddy Cue apparently back in 2013 wanted to bring iMessage to Android. So I'm just gonna pull up the link here. Tim, I'll put it in the doc at the top up here.
Very cool. I remember hearing about. Well, I heard about this recently.
Yeah.
Look, this is just proving that, look, not everybody at Apple is actively working against their consumers. But just those people can't do a whole lot about it because obviously iMessage never came to Android. It's so aggravating how everybody knows that Apple. I mean, so here's the thing: is it's not exclusive to Apple, but Apple is arguably one of the most egregious major players in forcing consumers to pay a premium just to use all of their features, which is dumb. Because I would understand it. Like, I don't think that Microsoft has a right to charge as much of a premium for Word, but there's an argument to be made that one could argue that because it's their proprietary software, it's running off their servers, like that sort of thing. Fair enough, you have to pay a subscription.
What iMessage is.
But I'm not talking about specifically at iMessage. I mean just Apple in general.
Oh, okay.
Apple, mostly. I think iMessage is dumb, but I can get over it. It's not super uncommon to have stuff like this unique to phones. But Apple's intercompatibility among their ecosystem is such a pain in the butt, and how they'll randomly take away features if you decide to not go with theirs. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's no fun. So anyway, this is supposedly
all in
gonna
preparation for the Apple versus Epic trial, which is coming up in a couple of days. And something else that we actually found out was that I think it was the App Store Fortnite, which means iPad and iPhone. I don't think Mac, but iPhone and iPad. It only accounted for 7% of Epic's revenue. I think it was Fortnite revenue, which is not a lot. They made it seem like it was over half their.
They made it seem like it was eating into their revenue streams, and then it was a real detriment to the company. When you're a company that big, 7% is a lot of money, but it's not something that's going to kill you. So,
and that was just on Fortnite, I believe.
Yeah,
and
it was something 80% was on PlayStation ecosystem, and that shouldn't surprise you. I don't know why that's a surprise to anybody, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're going to be playing a game like that, chances are you're going to want to be sitting down with a controller and a nice big TV.
You're not going to be playing it on your little phone.
I'm not surprised by that at all. I think I am saddened because I think that's going to, for a lot of the jury members who don't. I mean, I guess there probably won't be a jury, actually, but definitely for the judge who doesn't care that there is... he doesn't care about the nuances of gaming. They won't understand that it's not really about the profit that it's not. It's the point is not the amount of money that Epic is losing on the Epic Game Store. The point is how Apple is trying to shut out other companies for the sheer sake of making their own money, which is actively working against the consumer interest. So that's the point. That's the heart of the lawsuit, to me, at least. It was never about how much money Epic is losing on this. Like, I don't think anybody really cares. So, and I don't think whoever is going to be deciding this is really going to grasp the full nuance of that. I doubt they will. It's unless you're already experiencing it and already are affected by it in some way that's meaningful to them, they're not going to be able to grasp this in the several months to a year it's going to take this to actually work its way. That's the other thing I don't understand. Is like, all right, it's coming up to the bit. They make it sound like a playoff game. Like the trial between Epic and Apple is coming up, but like trials take like months. Whatever the verdict is, they're gonna whatever the verdict is, they're gonna appeal it, and then they're gonna go for a reduced penalty. Whoever wins and whoever loses, they're gonna say, "Oh, this is too much money. We want to reduce." It's not a sentence, but we want to reduce damage. We want to reduce damage. It's like it's gonna be a whole thing. Like it's not. I find it funny how people seem to think like it's gonna be like the Super Bowl. Like it's gonna be one day and then it'll be over. Like that's not. I'm impressed it's moved this fast at all, and I'm entirely convinced it's because the media has been talking about it. That both Epic and Apple have probably been profiting off of the publicity. So they're like, all right, let's keep it going. Like, let's keep this moving. Apple is. I will say I don't think Apple is gaining anything from this, but Epic especially. Epic has been painted very much as like the people's champion when. Right now, they're in the right, but let's be real. Epic would as soon do what Apple does if they had the chance. So, like, they would totally do that.
Do they make all of their games that are in the Epic Games Store?
No, I don't think so.
Because, like, do they charge those developers a fee?
I don't know.
They do.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure. Otherwise, why would they have them in there? Absolutely sure that if they do, Apple's going to bring that up. Like, they're not going to let that sort of thing slide. But I don't think they do. And you know why? Is because they have... Their platform was built on, like, let the people have games. Like I remember coming from Xbox to PlayStation, Xbox to PC, and being blown away by Steam sales. And then Epic Game Store came out, and they were just like sort of handing out games left and right. I got Battlefield 5 for free. They had GTA 5 was free for a long time. Like, and you could download them and keep them forever as long as you caught the deal. Like, it was like they just sort of hand out games, and I don't understand how they're making a profit on it. But clearly they are. So I don't. To answer your question, the answer is probably, but it's probably absolutely minuscule. A formality more than anything else.
And speaking of Apple, today they just released their new AirTags.
And don't buy the cases. If you buy a case, you're dumb.
I got the case.
If you buy an AirTag, all right, fine. You're not quite as dumb, but it's
comes
still
with a key ring too, to put your keys on.
It's better. It's like $30.
$35. Woo. Make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow or the next day. Hopefully, I will be releasing my video. I recorded it. Just have to edit it, so you guys can check it out. So yeah. So they announced. So they released those today. They released the purple iPhone, and I think that's it. But you can now pre-order the new iMac, Apple TV, and iPad. In case everyone wants to do that.
The iMac is dumb. The Apple TV is worth it if you are already going to buy a new one. The iPad, honestly, probably shouldn't be worth it to you unless you really, I guess, really want the extra horsepower.
Well, no. Well, or if you think that they are going to release that desktop platform at WWDC.
I don't know. I don't.
So speaking of that,
I think they will, but I think it's going to be absolutely terrible. That's my prediction.
But speaking of the new iPad, apparently the 12.9-inch iPad Pro with the mini LED display, they're anticipating that if you don't pre-order one right now, you won't be able to get one until July.
Because why? Silicon shortages? Or...
I believe so.
We have to talk about what you sent me today after this. Because I have a lot to... I don't have a lot to say. I have a little bit to say, but it is relevant.
Did you buy it?
No. Oh, hell no. The mini LED display could be to blame. Short supply of iPads, new tech, Apple stuff, normal LEDs, trickier to produce, blah, 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 blah. The display is probably what's holding them up. Okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep. And
Apple's
apparently
not perfect.
certain iMac, 24-inch iMacs, which you shouldn't buy in the first place, but if you are buying it...
don't buy the iMac.
If you're not someone that uses it for creativity, I can see why you would buy it.
No, I can't.
Okay. Well, if you are buying it, make sure you order it relatively soon because certain configurations won't be available for a while just because of some of those shortages. So you should order that as quick as possible.
All right.
Yeah, next we'll go to that CPU. Wait, what you were talking
about.
Yeah, so earlier today I sent him... I was looking at...
Wait, hold on. I might not have looked at that close enough because maybe it's not as insane as I thought.
No, it is. So
that's the 5950X, not the 5900X. The 5950 was retailing for $750 at launch, MSRP, right? Something like that. So it's not actually as insane. Right now, it's going for like $1,050.
Yeah,
so that's not nearly as insane as I thought.
That's still a lot of money for a CPU.
It is. It's $300 over MSRP. Not nearly as insane as I thought it was going to be.
Are you gonna get it?
No, that's not what I was going for anyway. And like Jake has been. No, I was going for the 5900. 5900. Because Jake has been bugging me. He's like, "Where are you going to buy the Ryzen 7?" The Ryzen 7 had a really good sale. The 5800X had a really good sale. It was $100 off or something like that. It was like $450. Pretty good, actually. Anyway, Jake's been bugging me because he wants to make his video. And I want my computer. That's what you seem to not understand. I want my computer. But there's no point in shelling out more money for the wrong CPU, or at least the CPU one of the CPUs I don't really want, if I can't even build a computer anyway because I can't get a 3080 or a 3070. Like that's not even something I can compromise on. Like I just can't get it. Like
.com. Let's check.
Let's see. Let's check if they have.
Let's check 3070. I checked 3080s earlier today.
Newegg. I typed in Newegg's. Newegg's. All right, you go for 3070. I'll go for 3080s, and I'll check 3890s after.
3070. They don't even show up.
Yeah, because there's nothing there.
No, but Newegg's search engine's kind of wacky.
It's a little whack. It's not that whack. All right, out of stock, 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 out of stock. Do I need to say any more? There's nothing here. Even the pre-builds, most of the pre-builds are out of stock. Because people are buying the pre-builds, putting their old graphics card in, and just selling them on eBay. All right, let's check the 3090s. I would buy. I could be convinced into. No, I could not be convinced into a 3090, but just to prove a point. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. Also, they're going for literally double the price. Right now, they're going for $2,500. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. And that's if you want the card alone. You won't be able to get the card alone for a long time. The combos are going for like $3,000 if you want card plus like a motherboard or a card plus a power supply or a card plus... I find the power supply ones the funniest because they're always sold with like the wrong PSUs. It's like you want a 3090 with a 650 watt power supply, and it's like no, like you can't run that. Like
let's see.
I will say they get the motherboards right most of the time though. Out of stock. They're all out of stock.
All right, let's see. For how much is an RTX 3070?
Oh, the Samsung Galaxy G7 was going for like $400 the other day too. That was a pretty good deal.
How much is the... Oh, this is a 2070. You can get a 2070 for $630.
Dude, no.
Thought that was a 3070.
See? There's no reason to buy a CPU if it's not the one I want for the price I want right now.
Dude, a 1650 right now, 4 gigabytes going for $628
on
Amazon.
This market is terrible.
You could get a
Absolute
3070 for
garbage.
$1,300 on StockX.
3070 for what?
1,300.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm, dude. I can't right now. Let's see if there are even any on eBay.
All right, you can
Usually,
get an
last time I
RTX.
checked,
Hold on. RTX. You can get an MSI, RTX
okay,
gaming
pretty cool one.
gaming X Trio,
Yep, that's a good. That's one
3080
of the better
for
cards.
1,300 $1,350.
All right, so literally double the price.
How much is it normally?
It's like 700, 800, something like that.
All right, yeah. So yeah, a little, yeah. That's a lot.
All right, let's see. We got a couple on here. We got a 38 Founders for 1750.
Make sure they're not posters. Some people.
Yeah, no, I know. We got a. Ooh, here's a good one. A 38, an EVGA 3080 for, you guessed it, $2,500. Like, there's no point in buying any parts that are overpriced or hard to find right now if I can't complete the system. So I'm not going to be doing
You
it.
could get an RTX 3070 MSI Gaming X Trio for. Where'd the price go? The price was just here. Hold on. For, I believe it was. Hold on. 3070, $960.
Closer, but like, I'm not willing to put out that much.
Yeah.
So if I look on Newegg tomorrow and if 5900X is there for $600 because it was supposed to retail for like $550 or something, if it was there for $600, I'd be like, yeah.
What about
All right,
650?
fine.
650? I would go to 650 and then I would be done.
I would take a good long look at it.
Yeah, for $100 over.
I would think about it, but even then, it would sit on my desk for no, who are we kidding? We just read something about the stock shortage going into next year. So, over 6 months.
Well, you could still build
There's no reason
just
to
without
that.
the GPU and then figure out and do that later.
I would have already built it by now if I wasn't trying to save most of this stuff for a video.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, it's stupid. I should have already built it because my motherboard might be dead and I wouldn't know. And that's $300 down the drain. Like, that's...
Oh, yeah.
I should have, and at this point it doesn't matter. Like, sitting on my desk isn't going to kill it. So
Let's go.
if I got you can bet that if I got a CPU or a GPU, I'm not waiting for your video though. I'm testing those first in case.
Well, I would just use that. I would just do that as part of the video.
So.
All right. So yeah, that's Tim's rig update 2021.
It has not gone anywhere, and both of us are mad, but Jake's more impatient. That's the update.
In like 6 months. It's been 6 months.
6 months. It's probably been more than that.
Well,
no, it's been right about 6 months because it started right around my birthday.
Right when we started the show was when, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that's pretty close.
Yep. Next up, Coinbase now lets you buy cryptocurrency with your PayPal account. Interesting.
A blend of like the 20 years ago Next payment app with the now new payment style.
Exactly. It's perfect.
Interesting. I'm a fan. Hold on, let's go on a tangent here. I love PayPal.
Yeah, me too.
Big props to Elon.
I didn't even know he did that until you told me.
I don't think he created it, but he was I don't think he created it. He was an early investor though. Like, he saw the potential and got in early. He had just sold Zip2, I think, so he had like $1 gazillion. And that's a great story. He sold Zip2 for like $100 million in cash or something like that.
100 million?
I take that back. It might have been 10 million. Oh, it was multiples of millions. He immediately spent $1 million in McLaren. And then he put all the rest of it. I think No, I take it back. I spelled that wrong. It was when he sold PayPal. He got $100 million cash. Yeah. And he immediately bought like another house, and then he put like $50 million into Tesla, $20 million into Solar City, and like 30 million, or not 30, it was like 25 million into SpaceX, and then like slept on his friend's couch.
Yeah.
It's a great story. Like he didn't spend it on like anything. He just dumped it right back into business.
Yeah.
And I mean, now he's
now he's like the second richest guy on earth.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously it worked out for him.
I love seeing those photos of him where it's like him when he was younger and like his hairline's all weird and like, he doesn't look as good, and then they like show him now and he's like all like perfect and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Yeah. It's capped at $25,000 a day. If you're spending over $25,000 a day in Bitcoin, then you're doing something illegal. Unless you're buying a Tesla in a day, I guess, but that would be dumb. You would want to spread that out for tax purposes.
And you shouldn't buy a Tesla in Bitcoin because that's not that smart.
Well, don't they offer that now?
Yeah, but like, why would you do that?
Because theoretically, if you catch Bitcoin at a good price, it would actually cost you less than if you were paying cash.
But then at that point, just sell the Bitcoin.
Yeah, you could do that, but then if you sell the Bitcoin, wouldn't that be taxed because it's essentially a stock?
I don't know. Is there?
I think there is. All right, let's see. Is there tax on converting Bitcoin? That's Botcoin. Bitcoin to cash. Under U.S. law, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are classified as property and subject to capital gains tax.
Yeah, so someone in the chat, D5DD, said that defeats the whole purpose of the crypto agenda by adding PayPal, and you still do have to pay a fee.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that crypto... Here's the thing, is that crypto is a fascinating topic. So, I love thinking about crypto as the next evolution of currency. A lot of people do. But I think it's different. And it's different in a bad way, I would argue. So think about, like, first we paid in coins. It was gold or silver. Actually, it was more common. Then we moved to paper that was backed by gold. And that was radical. Because it wasn't physical. Most people didn't realize. And then we severed the gold back, or whatever they call it. The gold... What was it called? Basically, the dollar. Every dollar used to represent a dollar in gold somewhere. Usually Fort Knox, just because that's where all the gold was kept. But anyway, it used to represent a dollar in gold, and then they severed that. So now technically, a dollar is its own thing. It's not backed by gold anywhere. Your value is not protected. So it's its own fluctuating currency in its own way. Then you had like credit cards, and really debit cards sort of came first, but then you had credit cards, and that was radical. A piece of plastic that you could pay for groceries with, like that's crazy. And then you had PayPal is the next thing, which is now forget the credit card. I can just tap my phone on something or send an email and I can give somebody money. And now there's Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is very different because it's not one thing and it's not really linked to the US dollar. It's like starting a whole new currency. So it's not like an evolution. It's like a revolution. There you go. There's a slogan for you. And I think because of that, it is both dangerous as an investor and potentially quite lucrative because it's something sort of entirely new. And I say that with a heavy grain of salt because really it's not entirely new now. Compared to where the Bitcoin and crypto market was like 10 years ago when it really was brand new, you're not making any gains on it right now. Unless you jump in on a new crypto that gets... So here's another thing. Well, never mind. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I have a warning for all you crypto investors. But really the market is settled enough to where you can still lose a chunk of money that would frighten you, but you're not really going to gain anything. So it's kind of a bad time, actually. And also, the appeal of crypto was that it was not really under any sort of law. You could just sort of exchange it. It was great for doing illegal things because it was untraceable.
Yeah.
And obviously, the U.S. government is going to look into that and crack down on it because is ripe for growing illicit things. Think of the
So
Silk Road. The Silk Road was the first major place to use it. Sorry,
someone
somebody
questioned in,
disagrees with me.
no, someone questioned in the chat what would happen after all of the coins are mined.
That's a great question. I don't know. I'm not an expert. My guess is the price would stabilize. Here's the thing: the price would stabilize, but I don't think we're gonna get there. I think so. This was gonna be my original point, which was I personally don't believe in investing in the coin. The coin itself is probably going to be obsolete relatively quickly in the grand scheme of things. But the technology, the blockchain idea behind it, that has purposes beyond just a single currency. So I don't know the best way to directly invest in blockchain. I'm sure there are somebody out there smarter than me who has figured it out. That I could get behind, but the actual coin I can't. What would happen when all the coins are mined out? Because you're right. For those of you who don't know, there's a definitive amount of Bitcoin out there. I forget what it is. It's like 1 million or something like that. And mining is basically just completing random calculations for a computer, and in return you earn them. It's not really like searching like real mining is.
Should we start our own
wage? One? That would be a terrible idea. Oh, so this brings me back to what I was going to say. Be careful when you're investing in new crypto, because it's most of them are pump and dump schemes. And what I mean, does anybody know what pump and dump is? Anybody? Shout it out in chat. It is I'll just answer it. It's a fraudulent sort of, it started off in the stock market where basically, let's say I create a crypto and it's called the Tim coin. It's probably already a thing, but who cares? And I say, I'm going to invest it's worth $1 to make it easy. And I invest $100 and I get all my buddies to invest $100. And so we sort of spike the currency a little bit. We get it to, $1.50. And then I go on social media and I'm like, yo, you got to check out this new coin. I show them the graph of it spiking. And I'm like, look, this coin just started out. It's going to grow. It's going to the moon. And if I even get 1,000 people to invest in it, it grows enough to where me and my buddies, the guy who started the coin, I'll pull our money out. So we all say, all right, we made a profit. We put in 100 at $1. So I put in $100. It's now up to, $5 a coin. So I made a net profit of $400. I'm pulling my money out. I just made $400 in a month or whatever it was with minimal effort. And now all those people who invested are stuck. The crypto crashes because all the original investors and a large majority of the coin is, got sold. And it's so that, that's what you got to be careful, because that's what a lot of people are doing right now. The big one that just came out was, what was it? It was Lotcoin or something like that. And it got big. It didn't get big. It got noticeable. And it was one of these sort of pump and dump schemes. So you got to be a little careful with them. If you're gonna do it, stick to the stuff that is out there. Bitcoin, Ethereum. People are gonna hate on me for this. Even Dogecoin to an extent. It's out there enough. That's probably your riskiest one that I would say is viable, is Dogecoin. Because the risk with Dogecoin is if Elon doesn't tweet for a while, you're gonna end up losing money. Literally, if he doesn't talk about it enough, you're gonna start losing money. But that's probably the riskiest one I could get behind. Ethereum, Bitcoin. What was that other one there, guy?
Don't do Ethereum, because then you can't use your 30 series graphics card to mine.
Actually, arguably that's a good thing, because it might take a hit because 30 series can't mine, and so the currency dips. True. You could buy in, and then it's stable. It's backed. Really, isn't it backed by Facebook?
Oh, is it really?
I think so. I think it's backed by Facebook. So it's relatively stable as far as crypto goes. So theoretically, you can buy. It's gonna see a dip, buy low, and then it'll climb back up. Now this is just me speculating.
Yeah.
So please don't invest based on what I think.
Invest all your money into.
No, that's a terrible idea. And like we already talked about, most of this stuff is gonna get slapped with bills and laws from, not the other thing is this is international. It's not just the US. It's going to be, the UN is going to come after it. I'm sure you can't use it in China. Australia and the kangaroos there are going to come after you. Like it's
kangaroos chasing you with
it is
their...
a fascinating idea, and I'm sure something like it is almost always going to be around.
I think we should start our own.
But I think it would be safer to stay away.
I think it'll be great.
And if, as much as Bitcoin freaks me out, I can't even wrap my mind around NFTs. So don't. Dude, NFTs are so... You know what NFTs remind me of? Is so it all started like this sort of trend started a long time ago with like a blog post of like trading a red paperclip to a house. Do you remember that? We like read it in school one time.
No.
It was like this person who like had a red paperclip and they're like, let's see if I can trade this up to a house. And they did it.
Yeah,
they got a house.
YouTube videos.
And people do it. And the biggest one is that guy trying to get a Tesla from Elon Musk from like a jar of sand. And he has a Tesla, but it's not from Elon. And there's like a bunch of other people who have done it thinking that they can just get free stuff and a bunch of TikTok views just because why not? That's what it reminds me of. Because I feel like we're going to see something like that. Like somebody's going to make an NFT and then be like, guys, what if we got this NFT to like $1 billion? And like everyone's going to invest and the guy's going to become a gazillionaire and he's going to sell it. And like,
we should do that.
That's a terrible idea.
We should do that.
I mean, what's the upfront cost to make an NFT? That's the other thing. It's like,
do you have, because
there's got to be an upfront cost.
How do you even
I'll look this up. I have no idea. That's the first thing that came. I just looked up how to. I looked up how to, and the next thing was make an NFT. Clearly, people have thought of this scheme. How to create, buy, and sell them from CoinDesk. Relatively straightforward process.
It says install. Create and sell.
Oh, I didn't realize it's attached to Bitcoin. Never mind. I'm staying well away from this.
Yeah, because it says you have to install like a OpenSea.
Before you start, you need to decide on which blockchain you want to use. Yeah. Blockchain. However, there's a range of other blockchains. Okay, so we're gonna use. All right, what do you want to use? Binance Smart Chain, Flow by Dapper Labs, Tron, EOS, Polkadot. I've heard of EOS and Polkadot, so maybe we want to choose those. Tezos, Cosmos, and Wax.
What website are you on?
CoinDesk. Each blockchain has its own separate NFT token standard. Yeah.
All right, I'm on the website.
For instance, the NFT is on top of Binance Smart Chain.
EOS is like a very broad thing because it means many different things.
Yeah, but it's the same blockchain. What they're saying is that there's a
sure here I'm
a
at
gazillion
Polkadot.
different blockchain standards. There's a gazillion different blockchain standards, so you have to make choose a standard because it's only going to work on that. Essentially, is what they're saying. Okay.
So I did Polkadot, and then we'll use OpenSea.
I'm not taking this seriously. I hope you know.
I think we should do it.
You think we should do it?
We'll do a picture of you and me.
All right, man. I don't see an upfront cost here, and I don't really see a big exposure. So, all right, we'll figure this out at one point. We'll make an NFT, and all you guys. That'll be it. You'll be the guy. Our viewers will get us to
yes,
$1 billion. We'll sell it. Split the profits, maybe do a giveaway. It'd be really funny if we sold it for like, $500 million, split it. So we each get, let's be real, after taxes, probably somewhere like 200, probably like 200 million. They're probably going to take, hold on, take a fifth. That's 20%. If you're dealing with that much, it's probably going to be higher. So we'll probably really walk away with like 175 a piece, probably somewhere around there.
Oh, that's nothing. I don't think we should do it.
Anyway, so it'd be funny if we pocket 175 a piece and then like we do a giveaway, but it's like a single iPhone. It's some like tiny.
No. We'll get a McDonald's French fry. Like McDonald's, just and we'll ship it.
We'll give away like a chunk PC.
Oh no, you know when you go
it's,
to
it's got like a 1650 in it.
No. We'll do a GT 710
GT 710.
because I have one of those, so we'll do that.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Or I got this Nvidia.
We'll give away we'll scam
Here,
somebody.
no,
we'll give them like a mining card.
This GT 120 from this 2009 Mac Pro.
Oh yeah, baby. Who wants that? So you heard that. If you get our $500 million, we'll give away a PC.
Yeah.
That's the best like goal I've ever heard in a YouTube video.
Exactly.
It's not like get this video like 100 likes.
Yeah.
Get our NFT to 500 million. Make me a multi-millionaire.
But it can't be money. It has to be one person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, because you can sell multiple copies of it, right?
I think you can. Excuse me. I think you can sell pieces.
Oh, you can sell.
So I think you can. I think so.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll do that. It'll be great.
Or maybe I mean it probably ends up being copies, but I think it's like technically you own like 50% or whatever. But it shows up as a copy because no one wants half of the picture.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we'll plan this.
But like there was one that like I want to say like Shaq did it, and it was like there was like 1,000 pieces, and each one of them sold for like $100,000 or something stupid like that.
We can do a world record.
Because Shaq is a gazillionaire.
All right, next up.
Yeah, baby. That was Tech Talk. That was Tech Talk Financial Hour.
Yeah. Hackers threatened to release DC police data in apparent ransomware attack. So Washington, D.C.
No
Police
good.
Department
Please
has
don't.
confirmed its servers have been breached after hackers began leaking its data online, the New York Times reports. In a statement, the department confirmed it was aware of unauthorized access on our server, and it said was working with the FBI to investigate the incident. The hacked data appears to include details on arrests and persons of interest. The attack is believed to be the work of BABUK, a group. It's a word. I don't know. A group.
Baby.
I don't know. A group known for its ransomware attacks. Bleeping Computer reports that the gang has already released screenshots of the 250 gigabytes of data. It's not even a lot of data. It's allegedly stolen. One of the files,
well, if it's files, it's kilobytes per file, so it's a lot of.
One of the files is claimed to relate to the arrests made following the January Capitol riots. The group warns it will start leaking information about the police informants to criminal gangs if the police department doesn't contact it within 3 days.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, this is so scummy. This is beyond scummy. This is beyond scummy. This is downright.
This is so illegal, it's not even funny.
No, that's so bad.
Washington.
So, to put this in perspective, your average ransomware, like what was the one that like they attacked like LG or somebody?
There was one for Apple where they were threatening. They started to like leak the schematic.
No, there was one that was a game studio. It might have been Blizzard.
Oh, that was CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red. So like that's scummy. They're threatening to release source code, right? So like, oh, you're gonna have an outburst of like, yeah, well, they're gonna have like a spike in hackers and pirated games like that.
But this is like hurting
scummy.
Actual people.
No. This isn't hurting. This is literally gonna wind up with people getting killed.
Yeah.
Police informants, if their identities are found out, they're gonna get shot. Like this is super. This is really bad. Really bad situation. And to be frank, I'm surprised it's taken this long for ransomware to get to this point. I mean, so for the longest time, if you don't want to sleep tonight, then listen up here. The scariest ransomware attack that could ever be done feasibly is attacking the power grid. So if people say, oh, they could attack the nuclear codes. Realistically, nobody's ever going to get those. But the power grid, think about what we rely on for that. Clean water, heat, hospitals, all that's going down. And the power grid is relatively unprotected. Now, if you say, nobody would think of that. First of all, I thought of it. Second of all, we already did it to Russia. So just before the election, do you remember we did an article on this that said, like, we launched an attack on Russia's power grid? in order to try and prevent them from tampering in this election. Like, this is already being done, and it is absolutely terrifying. What is going on? Like, it is seriously scary. So, man, it would suck to have your identity stolen and have somebody spend like
just like
$10,000 at Walmart,
just
but this is so much worse.
Just have a closed network. Put all of your
It's hard to have a closed network, man.
Why? Just put all of your information on drives that like can't be accessed by the internet.
That's hard.
No.
It's pretty hard. Think about how many things are connected to the internet now. Most coffee pots are connected to the internet.
No. So just have a separate server with all the super duper important files.
How are you gonna put stuff on that?
You will plug in a cable.
And how are you gonna access that? Because remember, this isn't like one guy.
Disconnect.
This isn't
your
one
internet.
guy in a basement. This is an entire police department.
When you need to transfer files, disconnect your Ethernet cable to the router and then plug in a different Ethernet cable that goes to whatever server.
That's not feasible. And also, I suspect that in that time, they'd be able to... Let's be real, these hackers are ingenious. I would not be surprised if they could essentially sneak in a Trojan virus, and now your entire closed system is corrupted.
Yeah.
So, interestingly, theoretically, a solution to this would be if you were somehow able to like subdivide a satellite network, I guess,
or just get better security.
That's hard, man. Like I said, these hackers, it's literally a constant game of chase. The hackers keep innovating, and we got to keep finding whichever ways they're coming in. That's why, I remember a couple years ago, I was talking to, or I was watching an interview with, I forget who it was. It wasn't Warren Buffett, but it was something like that, like a gazillionaire angel investor, but also a pretty old dude. And they were like, "What is the?" It was what the interview question was like. What do you think would be the most shocking expense a company routinely spends on that would be shocking to the public? So basically, what do companies spend money on that the public would never understand? And he goes, cybersecurity. And he's like, oh, upgrading it? Because he's like, I don't think, that's it. I was expecting something much worse. And he goes, no. He goes, we'll pay hacking groups to hack us.
Oh,
we will
I've
literally set out bounties. And this was years ago when it wasn't a common thing. Now it's sort of more accepted and people know about it. But he's like, we set out bounties for people to hack us because we want to know how do they get in. And I think this all comes back to that, famous Bill Gates quote that's like, I always assign the lazy man the hardest jobs because he'll find the easiest way to do it or something like that. They're going to find the first breach, the weakest part of your system, and then you're paying them to tell you how they did it. And so if they tell you, now we can fix it. Now we can patch it up. Now we can see where our weaknesses are. So, that sort of thing is fascinating to me. If you want, here's another financial tip real quick. If you want to be in a really strong spot in anything, literally whatever you do, unless you're working on a farm, and not even a farm would benefit. You got to learn some sort of programming language. That will help you in whatever industry you go in. A programming language. It could be Python, C++, it doesn't matter, but anything.
HTML, I learned HTML.
HTML. It could be it could be anything. And it doesn't even have to be advanced. Learn the basics, and it will get you places. Because not enough people our age are doing it, and that's literally going to be virtually required for any sort of high level position when we're sort of going into the market. So that's the last. I say that's going to be the last. That's not going to be the last financial tech tip. Let's be real here.
Oh, I was thinking that was a good wrap up one, but we can continue.
I don't care
if you want.
That works for me.
Are there any other interesting ones. We can just do real quick. I know Samsung announced a couple of new laptops at their Unpacked event with the super duper cool Intel 11th gen chips. And then they accidentally leaked the RTX 3050, which Nvidia has not announced, but is now going to be in their laptops, their mobile laptops chips. So that's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Samsung to come out with their like Exynos laptops, and they're gonna be like really bad. But I guess they have not done it.
Why
yet.
would you be waiting for that? That's no fun. I'm waiting for Samsung to come out with like.
I want there
Remember
to be
the like the weird trend a couple years ago where they would like literally laptops that weighed like 10 pounds. They had like water cool. They had separate bases and like the laptop
yeah.
portion. I love those things. Those are so funny. Like they were so wildly impractical. Like if you're gonna do that, just get a desktop, man. Like, just do it.
Just get a
The screen is better anyway. Like
Yeah.
don't be confined. So funny though.
So stay tuned for this weekend. We got new videos coming out with the AirTags. Yes, stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the Tech Prof JB. And if you want to join our tech community, head over to thetechprofessor.net. And that is Tim, and I am Jake, the Tech Professor, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.